Yes, sir. What's up, guys? How are y'all doing? Can you guys see the screen well? Because sometimes I go back on the replay and it looks weird. It looks like my camera is not perfect. It looks like my screen is not perfect. So let me know if the quality looks good, if everything looks all right. If it looks, um, if it looks a little bit tell me if it looks perfect or it could be better. And if it could be better, I'll definitely try to switch some stuff up. But for now, I did most of the thing I could do basically. Like I upgraded my PC. I have a good, really good internet. So pretty much it. Let me see here. Oh shit! I didn't make the announcement on Twitter. On Twitter. So let me do that real quick. Let me do that announcement on Twitter. We're gonna give away some accounts today. Hopefully, you guys will be able to smash that like button so we can reach the goal. So, how much are we? Shit, my fault. Let me just see how much we are. 55. Let's go. Come on, boys. All right. So we're gonna do a giveaway. The giveaway will be 50K growth account. So I need bare minimum 120 likes. 120 likes, 50K growth account. You guys already know. I always give back to the community. And today, I know it will be tomorrow, the winner of the Lightning account. So the 50K Lightning account will be announced on Twitter. So I'll also do. I have bigger accounts to give away. Also, so stay tuned for the giveaways, guys. So I definitely have 150Ks. I have 100Ks. I have some accounts to give away, so I'll definitely give you an announcement for that. So today I took one trade, one win. Oh, I don't know why it lags like this on the 1 minute. Sometimes it does that. Wait, I'll just reset the trading view. It will bug out for 2 seconds. Okay, but I'll reset the trading view real quick. Just because that 1 minute chart is bugged. Let me just go here and do this, and do this. Mm, that shit is just pissing me off. Again, window capture this. Always like that. And never give that to me immediately. Good. Oh, now I have my cam above and this right here. Oh shit. Cam here and also this. So then I'll do this. My fault, guys. That 1 minute was bugged. So I needed to do that. That should be good. My fault for the stream. But yeah, so let me just go over the trade I decided to take today. In my Discord, and let's review it. So basically there was multiple opportunities you could have caught today using the framework I show every single day on YouTube. But the first trade was a short play back to the downside. So here, as you guys see, we have buy side liquidity sitting above. We also have a 15-minute bearish fair value gap holding price. All right, so if we can reject, the only way basically we can use this fair value gap and recycle this fair value gap is if we reject buy side and we are starting to close back inside the range immediately. So now I can just mark out this high knowing that it is a really good area to expect reversals to happen from. Then here, if I go on this 3-minute chart, we entered a reversal level by creating a 3-minute bullish fair value gap. What does that tell me? I can locate my buyers on this lower time frame, so I can tell myself that if we're truly bullish, we should hold this in order to create a new high. But what happened right here, we disrespected it immediately, which is exactly what I want to see. I want to see aggression from those sellers in my level, and then this would be the short back down towards the most recent lows. So right there. So here the stop loss would have been a little bit tighter, and then in a few minutes you hit the target for a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Good. That was the first trade. Second trade, same exact framework. Okay. So here, as you guys see, we have sell side liquidity and we have a 15-minute fair value gap. We're using scalping to take those setups. In terms of narrative on the higher time frame, if you take a trade to get out after 2-3 minutes, you don't necessarily need to have a daily bias. Okay, guys, these are scalping. These are like scalping plays based on the levels and based on lower time frame order flow confirmations. So you don't want necessarily to be married to a bias at all. So here, 15-minute sell side liquidity, 15-minute fair value gap. Right here, you know we could bounce from here. Okay, a lot of people will just blindly long and expect those buyers to step in below this low. But what do? You don't want to predict, you want to react, you want to wait, you want to have a key level, and then you want to have a confirmation to enter the market, because this key level basically told you the story, told you that okay, the sellers are being squeezed here and the buyers are being aggressive. This is what most profitable traders do. They have levels and they wait for confirmations inside the levels. Okay, so this is your level, sweep of the low, 15-minute fair value gap. Last time we traded there was an imbalance in the market because buyers were so strong that the transaction between buyers and sellers was not fair. Okay, buyers were too strong. So then right here you have an imbalance. So once price has the chance to come back towards this area, buyers will most likely defend their position, since the last time we traded there, they were being so aggressive. So then you scale down to the 2-minute chart, and then what do you find? A 2-minute bearish fair value gap inside a higher time frame bullish zone. So now you sweep sell side, you create that bearish gap. You know that the sellers are located right here. If you're truly bearish, you should hold this in order to create a new low. If we're bullish, we will disrespect it. This was the second trade you could have caught. I definitely bitched out of this trade. I didn't enter, but it was a good opportunity. So here you could have bought and then see price going back to the upside in a few minutes. So 1-to-1. And then for me, the trade that I ended up taking was just this continuation play based on the same framework. So we tapped this breaker here, we inversed this 1-minute fair value gap. I took the continuation play back for a 1-to-1 back to this high here. Okay, once we held the breaker, held this bullish fair value gap. So we have basically the second distribution form. We have the inverse at first, and then we have the order block, breaker, and fair value gap. Everything was telling me that there was a lot of chances of us closing, above the high. So pushing back towards the most recent high. Okay, these are scalp plays. These are based on gaps in the market, based on being able to read, let's say, the order flow on the lower time frame based on levels. This is completely different to what most people are doing, which is building a narrative on the higher time frame, etc. But if you want to scalp 10 to 15 points every single day, you need key levels that you can trust, and basically the story behind why this key level should respond and should give you confirmations, and then become so good at it that you can take consistent scalps every single day. So these are the scalps I saw today. In terms of unfilled fair value gaps, there was nothing yet. So you can see we traded extremely, we had a lot of retracements. This is what basically that means. If you don't have any 15-minute fair value gaps being created throughout the day, it means that price was retracing usually back towards 50% of every single swing point. Um, I have a lot of questions here that I didn't respond. I try to attend every stream. Lots of information I got from your stream. Thanks a lot. Much love, my brother. I'm new to this space. Can you please explain the difference between sim eval funded accounts? Basically, can you explain the difference, prop firms? Basically, let's say with the prop firm that I trade with, I only trade with Tradeify, which is, in my opinion, the best prop firm. And you have straight to funded accounts, so lightning accounts. These are accounts where you don't need to pass any evaluations. Okay, that's first. Then you have the evaluations where you pass. You need to make, let's say, $3,000 of profits with a $2,000 drawdown, and then as soon as you pass that eval, then you can start making real money because you're funded. You're at the funded stage, and these are basically the two plans you can have. Usually, it's either you pass an eval and then you're funded, or you get immediately funded through straight to funding, so lightning accounts. And I prefer lightning accounts because I can't take those evals seriously. I just can't. Clean V-shaped recovery to the upside of the IVG targeting the minor buy side. Yeah, exactly. This was a good play, in my opinion, right here. Really good play off of that 2 minute, especially considering how big that gap actually was. It was really good. I took the exact same trade. Nice. That's the goal here, is to take the same trades every time. And is your continuation model your third model? What do you mean? What do you mean continuation model? Where did you see that? And would you say the mitigated gaps is as valid since there is no liquidity gap anymore? When you're asking a question, let's say, let me know, like, what are you referring to on the chart? Like the time would be the best if you want me to like answer a specific question. The timing of exactly what you mean, because there's so many breakers being formed, so many, if it's the trade that I caught today with my team right here, okay, like basically this was a continuation play, but in reality this was a little bit lower probability and more aggressive than some of the plays that we had today, in my opinion, because of course it is a really good trade in my opinion still, but a 1 minute inversion like this without structure or without sweeping a big level could fake you out to create a new low and then breaker, and then it pushes back up. But for today there was a nice short, a nice long, a continuation long, and that's pretty much it for now. So 3 plays using the same exact framework. That's our job, is to find a trade that is respecting our framework and we can trust every single day, knowing that it will happen, and it will basically we have more chances of winning than losing. First week of September is looking promising. Yeah, it looks was not looking too promising here, I'm not gonna lie, but with that second distribution right here, it was really, really good distribution here this morning. Absolutely. Thinking and joining your community. Just have the question, if you're always doing lives in the morning, can you explain a little bit more about that, please? Yes, I have a Discord that I do live sessions from 10 to 11. So usually, like, you guys will have access to, let's say for the people who are not in my VIP Discord, you guys will have access to my recaps every single day. I post recaps, I post my daily PNL every time. So if The VIP is really more for live trading and like being there while I take the trade. But yes, I do live trade every single day from 10 to 11, trying to find those scalps in the market. Uh, and literally what I do with my VIP is that I track every single wins and losses I do. So that's basically it. I have like my own account for the VIP, which is this one. So sometimes you'll see me post, like you could see me post like a loss on the day on my 5 Lightning accounts, but a win on the VIP, you know, because these are sessions where it's mostly focused on high pace scalping, basically, scalping um, the higher probability time window, which is from 10 to 11. There's always gonna be an inverse for value gap or an unfilled gap that is gonna give you at least 10 to 15 handles, in my opinion. Always, every single day. You can go back every single day and you'll see it happening. It's just, are you able to stay out of the market until the best possible setup shows up? You know, it's all about this. Whether how can I anticipate that a session is going to consolidate? Good question. Overnight moves. If there's big overnight moves, let's say Asian session rips for 350 handles, usually the market goes from a state of distribution to accumulation, distribution, accumulation, distribution. So if you distributed during either London or Asian session, then New York AM session will possibly be an accumulation phase to then see the real move happening in the PM. Tradeify allows scalping? Yes, they do. Scalping meaning that you will hold your trades at least more than 15 seconds. Like I'm not doing like hyper scalping. I'm just, scalping for me is you're looking at the 1 minute chart and you're getting in and out pretty quick in the market. The first short possibility from the mitigated 15-minute fair value gap when I referred to, you mean like since the gap was already filled at its full potential, is that lower probability? Is that your question? To like short back from this gap? If it's your question, yes, it is. It is a lower probability. If the gap is like, let's say like this one, it's unfilled, completely unfilled, and you have this level. Since it's unfilled, there will be more chances of you seeing a reaction immediately from it. But if like you take a 15-minute gap right here, let's say this one, and then you mark this out and you want this low to get swept in order to take the trade, of course you can still see the reaction from here, which is why I always ask the biggest, like the lowest swing low or the highest swing high that filled the entirety of the fair value gap to get swept and immediately rejected to see an up move. So it is a little bit lower probability, but if you see an immediate reaction from the sell side, you could recycle this 15-minute gap. Of course, you cannot stretch this out too much. Like you cannot like go here on this chart, like go left 75 days prior to now and find a 15-minute gap somewhere. No, it has to be kind of close to you. Okay, it has to be from the structure. If you can't see it by zooming out like this, don't take it. Okay, it needs to be a recent point where buyers or sellers were super interested in that price. So now the next time price will trade there, you have a lot of chances of seeing either a small reversal or a pullback in the market. Why do you focus on one-to-one risk to reward? In my opinion, a lot of people are blinded by high risk to reward. You don't necessarily need a high risk to reward to make money in this market. In my opinion, if you can scalp consistently 10 to 15 or 20 handles every single day, I would say 10 to 15 handles every single day. Handles meaning pips, like points. Okay, if you can scalp those every single day consistently and find a process that you can repeat day in and day out, that is enough. Depending on, um, like, you cannot ask too much from this market. This market is really hard to trade because it's super efficient, and in that way, what is the word efficient? It means that price is most of the time at its fair value because this market is dominated by whales, algorithms, institutions. Knowing this, I want to be in and out of the market super fast, knowing that the market changes. The market changes. The you know the market is not always acting the same, and if you have a high risk to reward, then when the market conditions are going to change, you will have a really hard time to adapt to those, knowing that in the first place, the probabilities of your trade playing out is lower than someone who has a low risk to reward. I like low risk to reward because I can make money while on the higher time frame we're doing this, or while on the higher time frame we're doing this. Okay, that's basically the principle behind it. I want, and also for me, I really want to be right more than I'm wrong, because if I'm wrong more than, let's say, 50 or 60% of the time, I will have to deal with psychological issues, and my brain will start to play tricks on me. It will be like, oh, Amos, are you getting lucky? Did you get lucky in the last two trades? Aiming for that. You're not seeing any consistency in backtesting. It's just for me, it's my style. I like to be in and out of the market quick. I think this market is really hard to trade. So if you're in really high risk to rewards and you don't exactly know what you're doing, you're possibly trading noise. That's my point on it. But of course, a lot of people will disagree with me, and I really think you can make money with a high risk to reward. It's not. I don't think you can make money consistently with a high risk to reward without discretion. That's just it. Or without having some risk parameters that are going to let you trim your stop loss. Yeah, check the 15-minute chart will tell you a lot about the intraday. If price is running aggressively towards, basically, why do I like the 15-minute so much? It's because it is one time frame that we have clear swing points, we have clear signs of aggression, and it is not like when you want to take scalps, you don't want a higher time frame bias necessarily. You basically, because the market, even if the market goes up, okay, and the higher time frame bias is bullish, you can take your 10, 15, 20 handles on those pullbacks. Okay, if there is your key level right here and you have signs of aggression from those buyers, let's say here microstructure, then you disrespect, you find your scalp and you're out. That's it. You don't need necessarily to have a higher time frame bias, or to look at a 1 hour for value gap, or a 4 hour for value gap, or a 4 hour power of 3 to find a scalp. It's a scalp. It's totally different. That's the thing. It's like a lot of people will see me trade in a sense, and they will be like, damn, his way of approaching things seems like he's a noob, let's say, because he doesn't use higher time frame narrative, let's say. But higher time frame narrative is required if you want to have a day trade. If you want to day trade for, let's say, and hold your trade for the daily range, in my opinion. Of course you could have key levels on the hourly, but it's not because there is a key level on the hourly that I will not take a counter trend trade to scalp my 10, 15 handles. Order flow on the lower time frame will give you really good opportunities to scalp your way. What's up, Origins? How are you doing? If there's a 4 hour for value gap, do you play it without using the same play it out using the same logic? What time frame would you use? If there's a 4 hour gap, basically, guys, let me tell you something. a lot of people are asking me questions about the model. Let's say let's say when you create a 15-minute gap, okay? When you create a 15-minute gap in the market, let's say, and you want to play the continuation off of this 15-minute gap, because you know there's a lot of aggressive buyers that entered the market. We couldn't have a fair transaction between buyers and sellers right here. So next time price trades here, the buyers will defend their position, possibly to create a new high. Good. But the biggest takeaway you can take from this setup, let's say, is the immediate reaction. You want to see an immediate reaction, and you don't want to see price closing through this 15-minute gap. You want price to come back towards this gap and immediately pop back up by creating signs of aggression from those buyers. And you want to enter inside this bullish fair value gap by creating signs of aggression from opposite participants. So it's really the immediate reaction that will make the difference between an A+ setup and a setup that is trash. Because if you start digging extremely deep into this gap, then your key level doesn't mean anything really. Okay, then you would need to have another extra confluence, let's say like an SMT divergence, to give you the hopes that this 15-minute gap will hold. So let's say it starts digging really deep into a gap. It's not as good as an immediate reaction. If it's immediate, it taps it, and just like this, let's say on this 15, it taps it and then boom, pops back up. It's a really good setup. So you see here, let's say here we created this, we had this sell side liquidity. You see we had an immediate reaction back to the upside. Good. Okay, you respected that gap though, which made it impossible to long from. Good. But then you made a resweep. Of course you're digging into the gap a little bit more, but you are still rejecting the previous sell side, so the previous swing low into this gap perfectly. So this is a good trade. Okay, but if I started to have heavy candle closures like this, digging, and then I take the first inverse, it's S. It's all about understanding what is your A+ setup really. So here you see, even it was a 15-minute power of 3. So I always talk to you guys about the 15-minute power of 3, which is, in my opinion, way better than the hourly or 4-hour. Why? Because you're scalping. Why would you take I don't understand why people are playing the 4-hour power of 3, let's say at 10 a.m. when it's a 4-hour candle. Do you really think you're gonna catch the bottom of that 4-hour candle? Most likely not. You're gonna resweep and then it will come back up. So why don't you try to catch the power of 3 of a 15-minute candle, waiting for price to flip above it, and then have your key level right here? This is, people are so they want high risk to reward so much that they're missing out on a lot of good opportunities throughout the day. You could scalp 1 or 2 trades every single day that will give you 5 points, 10 points, 15 points. I'm telling y'all, it's so much easier to be accurate with a low risk to reward. Even if those loss streaks will hit a little bit harder in the psychology, you have an edge in the first place, in my opinion, by trading those. What do you mean by 10-15 points? Could you explain what the stop loss is? It's always swing points. People are asking me, yo, Amos, why was your stop loss not 10 points or 15 points if your philosophy in trading is to scalp 10 to 15 points? It's depending if it's 10-15 points, let's say, depending on the range. But let's say for me I took this inverse right here. Okay, I'm gonna put my stop loss below a swing low, which will invalidate my trade. Right here, I took this 1-minute inverse. My stop loss would be right below this low. How many handles is that? 17.5. Good. How many handles is my take profit? 18. Okay, a little bit above the high. 1 to 1. Good. So now I scalped 18.5 handles. But my stop loss is not, I will never enter a trade and then put, okay, 10 points here, 10 points there, and get out. That is if you don't have a clear target, there is way too much. You're not trading a system properly, in my opinion, because the parameters have to be the same each trade. Let's say if you take a long here and you get out at 10 points just because it's 10 points? Was it really the right reasoning behind why you should have gotten out of that trade? Or, you know, taking out this buy side, you know, a swing high is the reason why you should get out because there's sellers that are going to step in above the high. Really, the best systems, in my opinion, are systems where you could explain the reason why someone who is going against you on that trade would lose over time. Make sure to make sure to understand what I just said. The best trades are the trades where you could explain the reason why someone else taking the opposite trade as you would lose over time. If you can't explain why you're getting the fuck out and why is your data showing you that you should get out of that trade exactly here, then you're gambling, you know? So guys, by the way, oh my god, 109 likes. Keep liking, guys. I need 120 to make the growth account giveaway, and I'm definitely gonna try to take a scalp in this PM session. I didn't take any scalps today on my 5 Tradeify accounts. This is my VIP only account, which I took the longs here and made 300 bucks. So that was the trade that I took. A lot of questions I'm gonna go over. Vax brother, can't stress that point enough to other people, myself. You don't need the daily 4 hour, 1 hour if you're going to use 1 minute as your entry. Exactly. Why, let's say, why would you use, let's say, the daily chart to predict it? Let's say the daily chart will give you the overall direction, but you could, there is so many pullbacks inside this bullish day. Let's say the bullish day starts like this, open low, flips, boom. Inside the day, it will start forming buy-side liquidity, sweep it, rebalance back towards discount. This is a play you could have caught. You know, a lot of plays you can catch looking at lower time frame order flow. Why is the narrative on the higher time frame so important if you're trying to get out at 10 points, 15 points in like 2 minutes? Usually, like, it will be like I would say the higher time frame key levels are really important. The daily open, daily lows, weekly highs and lows, daily fair value gaps, 4 hour fair value gaps. Of course, these are good areas to look for potential scalps. This is what I mean is like having key levels and waiting for a reaction inside your key level is a way better way to trade than trying to catch daily swings. A lot of people are going to try to catch the bottom each day and letting it run, but those will only work in days where the market will distribute on that daily candle. You see here, what will happen if you're inside this range here? You're going to get fried. This is a huge accumulation phase right here. Also, this is these price actions right here that we see on the daily chart, they happen often on the futures market, the indices market. Okay, this is something that prevents you from being a consistently profitable high risk to reward trader. Let's say looking at daily swings. But let's say if you get out for 1 to 2s, it's good. Like 1 to 2s is not high risk to reward for me, in my opinion. I'm talking about from the previous day. Don't look at it. You see here it was Wednesday. Usually on the 15th, you will be able to see the previous day's price action. If you have to look out for like the previous week's price action on the 15th, it's S. Similar to the 15-minute fair value gap to the left, what if the fair value gap is large, possibly multiple 15-minute candles in a row? Is the fair value gap the whole imbalance or the one that broke structure? Good question. It's the whole imbalance. So right here, you see, this is the whole fair value gap. All right, but I will only mark out this part because this area has already gotten filled. It's already filled. Why would I mark out this level? I am not going to take a long. Let's say if price goes here, I'm not gonna take a long. The fuck is that, bruh? My screen is acting up. But basically, I'm not gonna take a long until this 15-minute low gets swept. Okay, so let's say here. If I mark out this box, You see, this is the 15-minute gap. Okay, the 15-minute gap is all this box right here. Huge imbalance in the market. Sorry for the lag, but I am not going to take a long here. Let's say it created a gap and then it starts to push up. I am not going to long from here knowing that I need to sweep the lowest swing low that filled the gap. I want the part of the gap that is not filled yet. Know what I mean? So yes, it's the whole imbalance and everything, guys, on the higher time frame. Let's say, oh, you should have waited for a discounted fair value gap. Like, this is all too easy to say after the trade played out. This is one thing I never say to myself if I lose a trade. I never try to find a reason on why my trade was bad. Never. I'm trying to get better, but I'm not trying to find subjective reasons on why my trade was bad to convince myself that I took the wrong decision. Never doing that, ever. What I do is that I look back at the trade and I'm like, all right, did I execute my plan perfectly? Was it respecting every single one of my conditions? Okay. If it did, and the trade looked A plus when I took it, then I'm just going on to the next day. That's it. But a lot of you guys, let's say I post a loss on Twitter, there will be a lot of people that turn into market makers that will tell me, oh my god, why did you try to short a bull market, or uh, did you why did you take the long inside the first 15-minute gap when there was one in discount? Do you think I care? Like, I don't care at all. Like, I decided to take the trade and I'm walking out with a win or a loss. Okay, I decided that I was going to take this trade. It was following my plan, and I'm not here to find a subjective reason on why my trade was a loss, because this is self-sabotage. And if you do this too much, you will be absolutely you will have so much stress regarding entering a trade. You will see your setup in front of you, and you will convince yourself that it's a bad setup just because you've built in that coping mechanism of basically finding subjective reasons on why your trade should have not been a valid trade. A lot of people are doing this, and I was doing this for the longest fucking time. This is why backtesting is so important, in my opinion. It's because you will know that when you're putting in so much reps, you will know that winning and losing doesn't have to do anything with having a consistent edge. Basically, like, winning and losing, let's say in a month or a week, doesn't have to do anything with a profitable system. I could lose my next 10 trades, but I would still continue to play out. I would still trade the same exact system, because I know this system will eventually get me out of that drawdown, if it makes sense. When there's two 15-minute fair value gaps stacked in one leg, do you measure premium? No, I don't care. I think I responded to that. Just play the impulsion from the immediate reaction from the first gap that you see. I usually fuck up when there are two fair value gaps stacked to each other. Even if it gives me a really good reaction, it still sometimes wants to go to discount. Then you take your loss, all good, and you come back. And either you try to take the second trade. You can give yourself 2 tries every single day. And, if it fails on the first, then try the next. But like I said, guys, the reaction play is not necessarily a trade that you want to take all the time. Okay, it's exactly like the unfilled. The unfilled 15-minute gap or the unfilled 5-minute gap are scenarios where you have a really good narrative on where price is most likely going to go. But it doesn't mean that you need to take every single trade that shows up. There is a way that you can only take the A plus setups. It's way better to miss out on an opportunity that looked like the trade was ass or risky than losing on the day because you forced the trade. There will most likely be an A plus setup forming after the C setup or the B minus setup that you saw in the AM session. Okay. There's a lot of comments. I'm still up there. I fully agree with your take, brother, on why people use the 4 hour. I only use the 15 minute. I think I responded to that, but yeah, this is really. Is my mic cutting out? For real? Is my mic cutting out? Is it good now? We'll do the giveaway, guys, by the way. Don't worry about that. But is my mic cutting out or it's good? Let me know. I'll try to fix it. I don't know. It's possibly because I'm audio good. Okay. Sorry if it lagged out. It's because possibly I was too far away from my mic, so my fault for that. But yeah, that's basically like that's the thing about comparing yourself. Don't compare yourself to anyone, guys. Make sure to always stick to your own rules, stick to your own convictions. Don't think it's hard. Don't think it's easy. Do it on your own. Okay, and it doesn't mean don't look at someone else's system and be like, I'm gonna try to reproduce exactly what he does. You don't know how he is as a person, if he really likes high risk to reward scalps, high risk to reward trades, if he, or let's say a guy like me that hates to lose, depending on what type of person that you are, your system, you literally someone could take my system right here, right now, and be a losing trader with the system, basically because he hates the way that I trade, or he thinks I look at the chart too much, or he doesn't like the fact that it's too mechanical, or a lot of things that comes into consideration, when you build a system. So don't compare yourself to anyone, even if the guy is making a lot of money. Of course, these were doubts that I had for the longest time. Oh, my system doesn't have a high risk to reward, or I'm not trading order flow, let's say, like all the big guys in the community. I tried order flow, I tried various stuff, and let me tell you something. The way, the framework is the most important thing. The way that you understand the market mechanics and your ability to come in front of the chart every single day and have the same approach is what will turn you profitable. It's like, if every single day your job, you look for the same shit. You're like, okay, I'm going to look for a 15-minute gap to be formed. I'm going to look for liquidity. I'm going to look to scalp those unfilled imbalances. I'm going to look for potential immediate reactions from those fair value gaps, let's say on the 15-minute chart. And every single day you try to get better at it. Every single day you look for those opportunities, and you scale down a time frame, you go up a time frame, and then you find confluences. You find the reason why this one failed. You find the reason why this one went for a higher risk to reward. And then this is how you build such a good system and you become such a good trader overall, is by being able to come in every single day with the same framework. If you like order flow, then trade order flow. But for me, I really truly believe that it's not necessarily the system, it's your approach to make that system work. Like, I can't stress this enough. Yo, I'm gonna make the giveaway, man. Chill out, bro. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna make the giveaway. The stream is not done yet. Hi, sir. Please reply. 127 likes. I'm gonna make the giveaway, my brother. It's like I did the backtesting session with Tradeify, and bro, on God, not even one business day, and people were already crying. Bro, we're humans too, man. Chill out. We're gonna give you your code. You're gonna have the account. You are not gonna get scammed, my brother. Chill the fuck out. All right, chill out. No one is against you. All right. Like, I got pressed. Literally, I got pressed for literally one day. I did it on Sunday, I went out on Sunday night, Monday morning. Yo, what the fuck is that, Amos? People are complaining. I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? It's just jokes, but be patient. I'm gonna do the giveaway. I'm just trying to give out value to a lot of people here that are asking questions and giving out my philosophy on trading. I think this is more important. If you're only here for the giveaway, you should come back in a few minutes, hopefully. How long did it take you to become profitable? Man, if I'll tell you one thing, is that becoming profitable is not necessarily about your system. It's about flipping a switch. Is you decide to become profitable. You decide to stop being a loser, really. And it's insane to say, and I didn't have that mindset always, let's say, but being profitable comes down to you understanding that you have to take trading as your side hustle. Treat it as your side hustle in order for you to not care about getting satisfaction from wins and dissatisfaction from losses. At the moment where I understood that, this is where I made the most money. Like, the moment where I don't care about trading and when I don't necessarily look at the chart so much is the moment where I'll make the most money. And of course, it's extremely, it could sound weird because I always say you guys should backtest, you guys should put in a lot of work. Of course, I'm not talking about someone who is new to trading. If you're new to trading and you don't have a system and you don't have a folder filled with 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 pictures explaining your system and explaining the reason why you lost and the reason why you won and the reason why someone else that is going against you would lose on this trade, and you know exactly your system, and when you close your eyes, you know your system, you could literally explain it to your mom and she could make money with it. If you can't do that, then applying what I just said will not work, But I've been trading I started trading in 2022, early 2022. Didn't take it seriously, like I said in the beginning, but I really started to be fully, like I didn't miss one singular 1 minute candle from beginning of 2023. So been some time, but you don't need 10 years. It's not about the time, it's about the amount of focus you can put in. Basically, a lot of people will claim that they put in 10 years in trading, but they've been in and out of this industry for the last 5. Let's say they trade for 4 months and then they're getting their ass cheeks fucking clapped, and then they stopped for 6 months and then they come back. You can't do that. For me, for the people, let's say, who are in and out of this industry, I don't consider that time that you were out as a time that you can say that you were trading actively, basically. So I've been trading for some time now, but not let's say full time from 2023. And yes, like I said, the thing with trading is that it's unteachable in a sense. What do I mean by it's unteachable? There's so many stuff that even if I tell you, okay, let's say I'm just gonna give you some stuff. When you're on a win streak, you have to de-risk. When you're on a losing streak, you can now strategy hop. You just have to come back every single day with the same framework, start de-risking, and let your trades play out, adapt to the market conditions. When you're 1-2 trades away from the payout, start being a little bit more picky. There's a lot of stuff, like when you're in a drawdown period of 1 month or more, don't switch your system. Don't start, putting those negative thoughts inside of your head. There's, it's way deeper than we think. And even if someone is telling you, okay, you shouldn't do this or do this when this happens, you will only learn if it happens to you. It's really it. And the mental battles that you have to deal with regarding trading is, they're crazy, but you can't, the best traders are the most traumatized traders. I will always say that. If you've been through fucked up shit, you have snake skin basically. Like your skin is not is capable of enduring a lot of hardships basically. So yeah, you must experience it. Yeah, absolutely. Stuff are unteachable. Unteachable. There is some stuff in trading, even if I like sit down and show you exactly my system, there will be drawdown periods. Like the thing that I always say is that the biggest misconception in trading is that once you turn profitable, you will always win, or you will always have winning weeks, you will always have winning months, you will always have winning quarters, you will always have winning years. It's not true. It's not true. And this is something that is basically inside of a lot of you, inside of your thoughts, basically because you compare yourself on social media. And on social media, there's a lot of people who are not showing the true side of trading, not showing you their losses, and also showing you only their highlights. So if you only see people's highlights and you only see them win all the time, then once you compare yourself to them, then you're like, fuck, I'm really behind. I should switch something. I should do this. Oh, my system doesn't have enough frequency. My system is too much of a low risk to reward. This guy's making so much money with a high risk to reward. I should do the same. It's the self-sabotage is the main reason, and those stuff are unteachable because you will only learn that you need to stick to your system if you switch to another system after a loss streak and you realize that it's not better on the other side. It's really it. Once you understand that, holy shit, even with this system right here that this guy trades, I'm in a fucking three weeks losing streak and I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And there's also huge learning curves regarding switching a system, and there's so much work involved with switching a system or switching your approach in trading that you're just better off sticking to what you have and working out things. Okay, of course sometimes you're absolutely on the wrong path and you need to be able to realize that, okay, this thing is not working out. I've been doing all the work and it's not working out. It's then it's okay. But don't blame something that is not working out because you didn't put enough work to confirm that it was working out. Yeah, of course. Listen, what you said, you cannot treat trading as a hobby. You have to be totally committed. Ask yourself, am I putting everything I can? Of course, this is what you need. This is the mindset. You need to be obsessed. You need to breathe trading, okay, on the come up. But I'm telling you, once you become profitable, you need to completely detach yourself from the money aspect. And the only way to do that is to put emotional attachment to something else inside your life. The only way is to be attached to something else outside of the charts. Imagine if the only thing you think about is trading and it's the only thing in your life. Okay, perfect. That's what it used to be for me also for the longest time. But what is going to happen if you go into a 1 month drawdown and you're not getting any fulfillment from any other areas of your life? Your brain will start playing tricks on you. It will be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Your friends are in school doing this, getting better every single day, going to university, and you're here gambling, doing this, and not respecting your rules, or let's say your system is trash. You don't have any edge. You're not built for this. This is what will happen. Basically, it's always about the self-sabotage. This is like a human trait that we all have in common. When we want something, um, our brain, if we try to get it too much, basically the mindset that you need to have is you want to attract things to your life and not force things into your life. If you try to force things into your life, then your brain will do everything in its power to sabotage you and to not let you get into the level that you want. Basically, it's extremely the the psychology goes extremely deep in trading, I will say. And once you have an edge, and you know inevitably that you're gonna pull out money consistently out of this market, which is the first thing that you should do in the first place. And without knowing this information and having the hard proofs behind those, then you're not even on the race to become a profitable trader in the first place. Like, you could have the best possible mindset ever, but if you don't have the skill, it's impossible for you to make it. So it's the biggest takeaway, man. It's like, at first you need to do the work, then you need to detach yourself, you need to go touch some grass, go do other stuff in your life. And I'm definitely at this point. I don't want to look at my P&L and be like, damn, I lost today, the market was choppy, what the fuck was that? Like, this is the worst thing you can ever say to yourself. Like, saying that to yourself and be like, yo, complain about the market conditions and be so involved in your performance is the worst shit you can ever do. Oh my god. It's like, you can't care. It's like, Umar will post losses. Let's say this happens. He will post losses of like 100K or 150K loss. And people will be there in his comment section having sympathy for him. Do you think he wants sympathy from you? He doesn't give a shit. He just follows his system. He doesn't feel any sort of way regarding his trading results, because he has an edge, and he only has to play with those statistics in order to make money on long term. If you're emotionally invested into trading too much, then one loss streak is enough for you to never come back, and to switch your edge and go into that circle and that vicious cycle of strategy hopping, and then believing that trading is not real. And man, it goes deep. What's up, Joel? How are you doing? Just tuned in. Some real wisdom. Appreciate you, bro. I'm feeling the same after heavy losses for the last 2 months. Yeah, man. Just let's say if you're on the loss streak, ask yourself this. It's not necessarily because of your psychology that you're losing. That's one thing that you need to know. It's like, did I put in enough work to know that my edge is real? Or did I just followed someone on YouTube thinking that he was telling me the truth, and I didn't validate all the information he gave me, and I'm trading this system every single day thinking that I'm going to quit my job? It doesn't work like this. If you want to do this full time, if you want to become a pro, there is a certain approach to have regarding everything in life. Let's say, like, this is one thing that sports really made me realize is the level that you need to have in order to be top tier. That's one thing that I liked about sport. If you like, once you put in so much work and you're like, damn, I'm not even close to this guy, you're like, holy shit, there's levels to this shit. And one thing about trading that I like is that you don't need to be the best in order to get paid. You just need to be consistent. You don't need to have the best system. You don't need to have the highest risk to reward. You only need a piece of the pie. Like, let's say, getting paid in boxing, let's say the sport of boxing, you need to be in the top 50 people on this earth. It's impossible to make it in boxing. Literally, like, in terms of odds, it's fucking impossible to make it out, and to make a consistent living out of boxing. But let's say in trading, you don't need to be a wizard. You know what I mean? You need a piece of the pie. You need to be, okay, all right, I'm going to do this consistently. This showed me that in backtesting, if I put my stop loss right here, if I put my take profit, if I have this reasoning behind the trade, and if I can explain it, it will work out. Then the rest is psychology. Once you have your edge down, you have 60% already, locked in my opinion. Because I was unprofitable for the longest time. Not the longest time, but I was still unprofitable after knowing exactly what I know now. For the longest time, I've known what I know now for about 2 years. I literally, in terms of, adding theories to my system, I didn't add anything, I would say, in the last 2 years. Almost. Like the principles behind why I take a trade and why I anticipate price to go towards a high or a low at a specific timing didn't change. The only thing that changed was, the psychology behind it. But yeah, like, let's say if we talk about, my problem is not necessarily, psychology or being attached. It's really discipline. And, I really believe that in life, how you do something is how you do everything. If you're not disciplined as a person, it's really hard to be disciplined on the charts, I will say. So maybe trying to better yourself outside of trading, let's say, is going to help you out so much to become a better trader. And right now, I don't know, you see this price action, we are always wicking back towards the previous candle, which means that there is not any imbalances in the market, a lot of consolidation after that big move. Don't necessarily want to engage on this type of price action for now. They just care about the win rate, etc., but not why the trade is a win or a loss in the first place. The thing is, also, one huge mistake that I used to do in the past was focusing so much on the win rate that I would try, basically, like, the more you chase, the higher win rate you try to chase, the lower the risk to reward will be. That is 100%. Okay, if you try to chase a 90% win rate, okay, thinking that it's the best thing ever, let me tell you something. It's not because your system has a 90% win rate that someone with a 62% win rate will not outperform you at the end of the year. Okay, and one thing with this is that this is why taking B setups and being a little bit more risk on into those scalps is super valuable, because you have a higher frequency. If you are waiting too much or waiting for too many things to happen in the market, and you're only you're being so passive in a sense, someone who's putting in more risk than you, let's say, with a proven system, will make more than you. So knowing this, don't try to chase a 80% win rate, because the more you try to chase that win rate, the more rules you're going to add to a system, and the more rules it has, the more things price needs to do in order to basically show the setup to you in live, and the less trades you're going to have. So it doesn't mean you're going to be more profitable because you add rules. That's the thing. That's why trading is so hard. Basically, why finding a system is so hard is because there's so many parameters that you think if you change it will benefit you, but in reality it will just have a negative effect overall on your system. You know, it goes super deep. That's the thing. It's like, man, even when you have a system, you're like, shit, it takes this and that to make it work out. I would need this amount of money, this amount of initial investment in the first place with a live account. Like, it goes deep, man. It's not an easy game like people think. We have it easy with prop firms. I will say that. If you're not if you're not trading with, let's say, a firm like Tradeify, I'm telling you, you're actually missing out on the biggest opportunity of your life. Really, the people that if you say that prop firms exist now to people who are trading for about 20 years, let's say, and been trading for a while, they're not gonna believe in you. Like, they're gonna be like, it's impossible that this shit actually exists. You know. So yeah. So I would say, like, in terms of psychology, biggest takeaways are comparison, and also the approach, man. The approach that you take is so important. So important. Yeah, it literally, he said it. Joel said it. He said it's never been easier to be a day trader. Do you know, like, in the past, you didn't have any backtesting software. You didn't have any information available to you on YouTube. You didn't know, a lot about trading psychology. You don't have any community to, you know, socialize with, or people to talk to hold you accountable for your actions, or to motivate you in times where the market is hard and nobody's eating. So many stuff are here now, and people don't take this advantage. Sorry, I'm actually sick right now. My nose is all fucked up. I have been trading for 15 years. This is the biggest opportunity for retail traders. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Once you can understand the statistics between, like, inside those prop firms, there is way more edge to have in prop firms than with a live account. Like, the chances of you making 100K with a live account are so much, like, the chances of you making 100K with a live account with the initial investment that you're going to put in compared to prop firms is literally zero. Like, you can make 100K with prop firms with, let's say, a 3,000 initial investment, or 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 initial investment. Try to do that with a live account. You would need to make 1,000% of your account and put a shit ton of risk in moments where it could kill you. You know, if you start to trade and you are broke, trading will be more difficult because you're trading from a place of desperation. Absolutely. If you're broke, like absolutely dead broke, the best thing you can do is uh is try to fix everything outside in your outside life, and then come back to trading once you have either enough money to survive, you have, a stable situation. Basically, you're all right mentally and you're not fiending for that money. Yeah, we got Discord communities, YouTube, uh, a lot of free stuff available. Trade recaps here, trade recaps there, people giving out their philosophy on trading. A lot of stuff, podcasts to inspire you, to show you that there is people that came from the same situation as you that made it. So much, such a big opportunity that we have right now. How many years of backtesting would you recommend once you understand your strategy? Um, I would say backtest at least 3 years of data, I would say. Um, The reason why I say 3 is because, in my opinion, going back to in 2018, which I did it, just to make sure, like, okay, what would I do if the market conditions change, let's say. But you don't necessarily need to go back towards price action that are not the same as now, and in a market that completely changed. This is why it's super important to have a lot of knowledge in trading and be a student of the chart and of the market, because in times where one of your best edge will stop working out, you will have the tools in order to adapt to the markets. Super important. So I would say, like, backtest from 2023 or 2022 all the way to now, and if you're consistent, if you can, literally, it's as easy as this. If you can start with an initial balance of, let's say, $100,000, let's say, in backtesting, and you risk 1% per trade, what is your P&L at the end of the year? It's that simple. That simple. If you are positive, net positive, and you're not lying, don't lie to yourself. You got to be extremely accountable. If your edge doesn't work out, don't come back and be like, oh, I wouldn't have taken this trade. Or this is why I like, let's say, backtesting softwares like FX Replay. It's because you take the trade without seeing the price action before. Like, you need to take a decision, which literally puts you in a live scenario, basically. It's a funny phenomenon because when things get easier, people get lazier / weaker. Yeah, trading is so different to a lot of stuff. I would say, because you're not being rewarded for the amount of time you spend in front of the chart necessarily once you have an edge. Of course, you need to refine to get better and to know what the current market conditions are, more favorable for. But it's really about the emotion side of humans. If you're emotionally invested to, okay, right now I want to make this amount of money, and with this amount of money I'm going to do this, I'm going to invest this much, and this is the worst thing ever, because once you start having those expectations and they're not met, and because it's money, it's different. A professional, basketball player will have expectations regarding his performance on the court, but ours is, am I gonna respect my system? Am I gonna follow my rules? Am I going to it's literally, it comes down to this: am I gonna follow my rules? Literally. So at the end, don't blame yourself for having a negative P&L if you followed all your rules and you already did everything in the past to make sure that what you're trading is working out. And also, it's really because of this aspect, I will say. The biggest aspect that makes trading so different from any endeavors in this life is because it's the aspect of, if you lose, you didn't do anything wrong sometimes. So you cannot link your P&L to your performance overall as a trader, which sounds crazy. That's why I hate discretion. Is because if you use discretion, then you tend to do this kind of stuff. You will be like, oh damn, I didn't do well this month, it's because of me. When in reality, it's statistics. Let your trades play out over time. Even if I lose, I end up, let's say, negative 1% this month, if I keep trading the same exact system, I will be profitable next month and the next after and the next after. It's like, this is really it. It's being net positive or negative on a day is not, it doesn't give you the right information about if you did your job or not. And that's one aspect that makes trading so difficult in the first place. As weird as it sounds, best feeling is when I lose, but every single one of my rules were followed. Exactly this. Literally, this is it. It's probabilities at the end. If you try to switch something too quick, then the probabilities are possibly going to play out against you in the long run. How many times did it happen to you? It happened to me a lot of times in the past, which is the reason why I stuck to my trading plan, and I have the same exact strategy as 2 years ago. Is, were you trading, let's say, strategy back then, let's say 2-3 months ago, or let's say a year ago, and as soon as it stopped working out, it worked for, let's say, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, and then as soon as it stopped working out, and you took a 3-4-5 trade losing streak, you hopped on something else. You tried a strategy hop, and you tried to go and look out for something better, and then you went back on the chart, let's say, with your new strategy, you got absolutely destroyed, and then you went to backtest the months, the previous months, that if you traded your previous strategy, how would you have done on the chart, and it would have been amazing. This is always what happened to me when I tried to switch something, or I tried to, change my approach in trading. I would go and try to take a look at another strategy, get absolutely destroyed, go back to backtesting the weeks that I got destroyed on the new strategy, looking for the opportunities using my old, and it would have been great. So I'm like, why the fuck am I complaining? Just stick to it. This week or this last 3 weeks would have been great. I would have gotten this amount of money, this payout. I would have passed my account. It happened to me. Like, it will happen to you, and I guarantee you that, let's say if you're trading the models that I show you on YouTube, it will happen to you. Why? Because there is hot streaks. There is streaks of, sometimes you can't really understand the real reason why you lost, because this is the law of big numbers. You lost, okay, it's a random trade out of a sample size of thousands and thousands and thousands, So depending on your approach, this is why I take the mechanical approach. I always talk about, if you have a mechanical approach. If you have a discretionary approach, then most likely you blame yourself for taking a loss. And you can see how it can backfire really fucking fast for blaming yourself to take a loss, because you shouldn't have taken this opportunity because of this, because of that. And then, at a certain point, if you're on a big loss streak, then you will start questioning your edge more than everything. You will be like, did I get lucky in the last 2 years? Did I get lucky in the last month? This is one thing that I despise. I don't want this in my system at all. I want 5% of discretion only. I really like the way you are in your channel, like a normal real person. Thank you. I'm not no celebrity, man. I'm exactly like you, man. I'm a normal guy. Don't treat me like I'm a celebrity, or even other people. It's not because, let's say, you make money trading that you're better than someone else. Voice crack, GG's. But you're better than someone else. Like, we're all the same. We're just on different journeys. The scenario you just explained was pretty much the final canon event before I turned profitable. Yeah. Literally the same for mine. Like, you're going back in front of the trailer, like, fuck, I would have gotten 3 payouts out of this, and then you're like, shit, I'm a dumbass. Like, one of the biggest things is when I learned that with any strategies, you're gonna have huge drawdown periods. Once I understood that by trying out everything, I was like, you know what? After trying out everything, this is by far the best, But I wouldn't have gotten all that knowledge if I didn't try everything. This is why it's a whole process. It's because even if someone tells you, oh, it's not because your things are complicated that they're going to work. Of course it's real, but you need to live that scenario. You need to experience that scenario in order for you to really get the lesson from it. I used to jump from strategy to strategy, thinking that it's not for me. Went back to one, listened to you, and focused on backtesting. Went back to the live market, and I'm seeing a huge difference. Yeah, it's like the biggest, like Joel said, the canon event of when you turn profitable is when you understand that not every day will be a profitable day, and it's not necessarily because you lost that you did something wrong. You know, you need you just need to get on your own path and not look at anyone else. Do your own stuff and validate your own thesis. How long till you become profitable, and how long were you learning a day? For me, it took me 2 years to become profitable, and 1 year and a half, I would say. And I was putting in a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, I was putting in at least 8 hours a day, and I was putting in 8 hours a day with my brother, so two brains on the same thing. I remember when I started learning to trade 3 years ago, I used to strategy hop like crazy. Now I have a trading strategy and I stick to it, and I'm profitable. Good job. This is exactly it. Um, I am in a deep hole right now. Is this a canon event for me before becoming a profitable trader? Might be, might be. And yeah, I will say, like, man, looking back, like really looking back at the moments that I was literally down, like so down, and I actually wanted to cry, and I was like, bro, I want to give up so much. These are the times where I had the best lessons ever, and it made me grow so much. But it's really after it happened to you and after you bounce back from it that you can say that it was the best thing that ever happened to you. If you're down so much and you're like, bro, this is fucked up, it's because you're not doing something right. It's for real. It is either your strategy's ass, it's either your psychology's ass, it's either you don't have the right approach towards trading, it's either your strategy hopping. There is something wrong overall with what you do, and it's reflecting into the charts, it's reflecting into your P&L, it's reflecting into your discipline. So those events where you're gonna be so fucked up are so important because it will make you realize that you have something missing to get to the level that you actually want to get. And for me, like, if you want me to be honest, I almost changed nothing from the last year and a half or the last 2 years. you know Strategy wise, like I said, like, almost changed nothing. It's just a pure mindset. When you are not in need to get that money, when you're not fiending to like, you are not gonna win all the time. You are gonna have losing weeks. Okay, go next. That's it. So guys, 146 people, 177 likes. Damn, insane, absolutely insane. Do you guys think it's a good idea if I make videos about psychology and stuff, uh like raw videos? I know I'm just, the videos that I'm more talking about the behind the scenes of my journey, let's say, for my road to 100K with Tradeify. They're like, not I'm not necessarily talking about psychology, or like, I'm just talking about the journey overall. But I could definitely start putting on more videos about psychology, because yes, overall, it's once you have an edge, it's really, really important, for sure. If we can get to 200 likes, that would be insane, guys, if you can. And yeah, just before I do the giveaway, let me just show you guys where I am on my accounts. Like I said, I'm super transparent. I'm trying to be the most transparent guy in this community by far. So let me just show you guys my dashboard, my accounts, what am I up to. And yeah, so this is my dashboard for now, right here. So as you guys see, I'm up $1,000 after the first payout. Okay, so I need to make $3,500 to request another $15,000 payout with Tradeify. So now let me go here to the journal. If I go here, top right, you guys will be able to see its FTD, which means that it's active accounts. Okay, active straight to funded accounts with Tradeify. Good. Now let me go over my P&L of the month of September, and also just showing you guys that it's been a while that I've had these accounts. Okay, you can and you're gonna be able to hold accounts for more than 60, 70, 90 days. Okay, don't, if you try to get a payout every single week, then this is how you're gonna blow your account. Okay, it's impossible to get a payout every single week without over leveraging. That's really the concept. Okay, so stop comparing yourself and just take your own journey, and you'll see you're gonna take things slow and you're gonna outperform 99.9% of people, because people are trying to, you know, change their lives in 1 week. Okay, so right here I'm up $50,000, so halfway, a little bit more than halfway there towards the 100K mark, which is once you do the 100K mark, this is when they put you on the live account, basically. Okay, this is September, so I took 2 trades on September 2nd, win, no, 3 trades, sorry, 1 was break even, 1 win, 1 loss, so ended up losing $37 on 5 accounts, which is 185, nothing. Good. The next day took the same exact setup, 3K. Good. If I lost 3K, then so be it, but you see, respecting my plan, 3K, boom, got out, went for a walk, and, you know, went on with my day. So here on the 4th, you see I saw no opportunities for the, you know, my approach on things with you know, with those accounts. I have a super specific strategy that I look for, you know. This is the way that I decided to plan my road to live account. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this strategy only, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm gonna stay out. Okay, I don't want to be risk on too much with this account, knowing that you know, it's like my account where I journal most of the stuff, so I want to be quite you know, safe with my approach to, you know, show you guys the full proof behind, okay, I'm gonna hold these accounts for 120 days and 150 days and get the payout, you know. So it's really the whole process is to show you the journey. So here, $50,000 P&L, profit factor of 2, average wins and loss 1.83, which means that you see here I almost have a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, even if my risk to reward is 0.8 or 1 to 1, which is crazy, because one thing that I do is I lower my size on dog shit trades and I up my size on really good trades, which makes the whole difference. So since my A+ setups have more chances of hitting TP, then I make more money on those. So it, you know, it makes up for those B- setups, C+ setups. Okay, and you guys will be able to see, look at my P&L. Okay, I started those accounts on June 27th. You can count how many days that was, but you can see I went to sleep multiple nights in a row like this, knowing that I didn't give a fuck about getting the payout. You know, for bare minimum 2 months, I got the payout. I requested the payout right here, literally right here on the 27th. I requested $15,000. All those nights, starting from June 27th, literally whole summer, I went to sleep every single night knowing, okay, if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. And I don't give a shit. And then the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day, and the next day. And then while most of the industry is blowing their accounts and want to show you quick and fast payouts, oh, at the end, I made my initial investment back. I made 15,000 and I'm on the road to get my live account and to make my 100K. It is a 100K plan. Okay, chill the fuck out. If it takes you 7 months to make it, all good. It's 100K. Okay, I'm not gonna be here to tell you you're gonna buy a Lamborghini. Most likely not, but you're gonna change. You're gonna change some things in your life. That's for sure. So now it's been quite some time that I've been trading those accounts and up a pretty decent amount. So we'll keep trading the same exact way. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. But I will keep trading the same exact system, same approach, with the same mindset. So I really don't care about how much time it is going to take me to get towards that second payout. Okay, but my goal definitely is to get towards that live account and be on the top 5 leaderboards, just to show you that it's possible. Okay, so trust the process. Not every single week will be winners, not every single months will be winners, but if you stick through it long enough, you'll see the your system playing out. Really, you see here, I lost multiple times, here, and I didn't care really about losing. I know that overall my system is good enough to get me out of that drawdown anyway, and I know my system will start picking up at one point because my risk to reward is low. This is always one thing that I like about my system, is the fact that I know my risk to reward is low, so I have a lot of chances of winning my trade either way. So imagine I'm adding rules, I'm adding in a really good edge towards it. So if the market conditions are aligned with my system, I'm gonna win a shit ton of money multiple times in a row. So this is what I like about low risk reward. You see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins in a row, and then lost a shit ton of bread on live. You can go back on the recording, one of the most viewed live sessions with y'all on on the 31st. But you see, I bounced back from it and got the payout. So that's the most important shit. Yeah, so August and then September. So now September 4th, we'll keep trading the same exact way and we'll update you guys for sure. So this was it. Now let me just do the giveaway, guys, because I promised 50K growth account. And yeah, so what is the word we're gonna use? We're gonna use we're gonna use PFT, which is the name of my Discord. Shout out to the people in my Discord, but I'm gonna use PFT for now because I relaunched the Discord, the live trading Discord, from 10 to 11 a.m. So spam the word PFT and let's see who will win. All right, so PFT is the word to win a 50K growth account. A growth account, yeah. In it. Growth account in it. $102 at 150. I'm starting it. All right. So spam the word PFT. 197 likes. Spam the like button, guys. We're gonna have 200 likes, which is insane. I appreciate you guys so much. Gonna drop the recording tonight of all the best trades you could have caught today. I'm gonna drop a recording of my road to live account. Of course, like, I'm dropping the previous recording, so you guys are seeing like my process a little bit delayed, but it will catch up, like in 3-4 videos it will catch up to now. So PFT. All right, and I'm gonna start in 15 seconds. So 50K growth. Make sure to have your email in your YouTube description first, and second, please do not spam me to get your account on like three seconds after you won the giveaway. I will give you your account. Trust me, my brother. Just give me some time. All right. Give me at least 3 business days. All right. You're gonna have your account. But usually it's because I go and take a look at all my emails on Sundays, preparing for the week. So then I do everything there because I have a lot of stuff to do on the day. But okay, so I'm gonna start now. Aceptar. Let's hope someone new wins the account. Marco. Good job, Marco. Make sure to type right now in the chat if you're here, and then type in the chat right now. You have 43 seconds left. I don't see you in the chat yet, Marco. Come on, lock in, bro. 30 seconds. Oh, you're here. Nice. All right, that's good. I can see you, so it should be good. Yeah, I see him. So congrats on you winning. Make sure you have your email in your YouTube description. Guys, for the people who want to see me live trade in the morning, I reopened my Discord, so you can check the link in my YouTube. So in my link tree, you guys will be able to see the link to my Discord. I post trade recaps every single day, daily report cards, weekly best setups of the week, basically. And I'm there for you guys 24/7. Of course, you guys already know, if you want to lock in the best deals with prop firms, make sure to use code AMOS. By far the best code to use. You guys already know it boosts your win rate, and yeah, it is what funds those giveaways, as you guys know. Appreciate you guys so much. I see you guys tomorrow at the exact same time, 1 p.m. EST, for the live session, and I see you guys on the next one. Much love. Peace out.